Welcome student friends. In the previous lecture we have discussed Wheatstone bridge method for measurement of medium resistance. So this is a Wheatstone bridge, and with the help of this bridge we have find out its equation to measure the unknown resistance. We have gone through all these mathematical details that you can find in our previous lecture. So Wheatstone bridge can give us this following equation, that is unknown resistance Rx can be find out by using this equation, that is R2 into R3 divided by R1. So this is the final equation for Wheatstone bridge method, and we also discuss its limitation of Wheatstone bridge network. So the first limitation of Wheatstone bridge network is that it cannot measure the high resistance and it cannot measure the low resistance, and the standard resistance R is generally required for its operation. So these are some of the limitation of the Wheatstone bridge network. So for example, the first limitation is that it cannot measure the high resistance, and in the case of high resistance measurement, galvanometer becomes insensitive to show any imbalance. So this is the first limitation. The second limitation, it cannot measure the low resistance, and in the case of low resistance measurement, lead and contact resistance becomes significant. So in order to solve this second limitation, that is it cannot measure the low resistance, we have to create this Wheatstone bridge, or we have to modify this Wheatstone bridge network in such way that it can measure the low resistance, and in this lecture we will see that aspect of this network. And this modified network is generally called as a Kelvin's bridge method or Kelvin's bridge network. So we will go through that concept right away. So today's our agenda is to measurement of low resistance. So today we will discuss how to measure the low resistance. Measurement of low resistance. Measurement of low resistance, and for this we will use Kelvin's bridge. For this we will use Kelvin's bridge. Kelvin's bridge method. So for this we will Kelvin's bridge method. So here I will draw a circuit diagram. So this is a modified Wheatstone bridge, so wherein you can have four arms, that is this is one arm, this is another arm, this is another arm, and this is another arm. Okay, and we can connect the galvanometer like this here. This is our galvanometer. Okay, so this is R1, this is R2, this is R3, and this is Rx, as we know. And for this we will connect a DC power supply. Okay, so we will connect like this. So this is a positive terminal, this is negative. Okay, we will connect like this because it is a DC network, so we have to connect a DC source. So this is positive, this is negative, and we can write a DC source as a E. So in this network we have to modify, or we can modify this like this. For example, as we know that Wheatstone bridge network cannot measure the low resistance, and in the case of low resistance measurement, lead and contact resistance becomes significant. So we can connect this galvanometer like this, either to this direction or this direction. Okay, so we can connect galvanometer to point this or point this. So we can rename this. This is point M, this is point N, and this is point P. Okay, and this is our galvanometer, and the total resistance of this from point M to point N, it is the Ry. Okay, so remember that. So we have connected the four resistance R1, R2, R3, R4, or this is R4 is nothing but the Rx. Okay, let's consider it is a not R4, it is a Rx, and this is point M, this is point N, and total resistance of this, it is Ry. This is your source E. So it basically it is a modification of Wheatstone bridge and provide a great accuracy in the measurement of low value resistance, the Kelvin's bridge. And so in this case we can have a 2 galvanometer, or we can have a 2 galvanometer connection are possible, either point this to point M or either point N. So in this case we can have 2 possible connections. Okay, so that is G2M or G2N. So that is point G2M. So let's consider this point G2M and G2N. So we can have a 2 galvanometer connection. And when galvanometer connected to point M, let us consider when galvanometer connected to point M, this resistance Ry, the resistance Ry is added to the Rx. Okay, so you can think, like, for example, if you connected this galvanometer to point this total resistance, so this is you can say it is a contact as well as a lead resistance. So this is your lead resistance, because it is basically these are the resistance and it has some sort of leads, that is connecting parts, and if you combine the connected them, you can have some sort of resistance. And we have to consider this, although this is resistance is very small, which is in the order of less than 1 ohm, but we have to consider in order to solve or in order to measure the low resistance. So this resistance Ry, if you connected this galvanometer to point M, this resistance Ry is added to Rx. And if you connected this galvanometer to point N, then you can remove this resistance Ry from Rx. So when galvanometer is connected to point M, the resistance Ry is added to Rx. So Rx, that is your unknown resistance, is higher than the actual value. Okay, so when you connected to point M, your Rx is higher than actual value. And when galvanometer connected to point N, your Ry is added to R3. So Ry is added to R3. So Rx is lower than actual value. Okay, so there are 2 possible combination when you connected this your galvanometer to point M, this Ry is added to Rx. When you connected this galvanometer to point N, this Ry is added to R3. So in the first case, when you connected to point M, this Ry is added to Rx, so Rx is higher than the actual value. And when you connected this to point N, this Ry is added to R3, so Rx is lower than the actual value. So these are the 2 possible combination in the case of these 2 connections. Okay, and if let's say if galvanometer is connected to point P, okay, so this another we can have another combination, that is the third combination, that is if galvanometer is connected to point P. If galvanometer is connected to point P, in a such way that the ratio of N to P and the ratio of N to P and M to P equals to ratio of R1 and R2. Okay, so if let's consider this figure, if galvanometer connected to point P, P in such way that the ratio of N to P and M to P is equal to ratio of R1 and R2. Okay, ratio of R1 and R2. So then we can have that equation. So this equation becomes the resistance of RNP divided by RMP. Resistance of N2 point P and M2 point P is equal to R1 divided by R2. And let's consider we have to solve this for RNP. So RNP is equal to, now then it becomes R1 is equal to R1 divided by R2 into RMP. So this is our equation number 1. So this is equation number 1, and we have from the bridge balance equation we know that from bridge balance condition. So from the bridge balance condition, so bridge balance condition can be write like this, as I told you previously, that is you can simply multiply these arms, that is R2 into Rx and R1 into R3. So you can get this bridge balance condition. So bridge balance condition, so we can write like this. So from the bridge balance condition, so we have a bridge balance condition like this: R2 into Rx is equal to R1 into R3. Okay, and R2 into Rx is equal to R1 into R3. And basically now we can write like this. For example, as we know that this R2 is here and Rx is nothing but, so your Rx is nothing but Rx plus RNP. And for R3, it is R3 is now modified, can be modified as a R3 plus RMP. Okay, so because we have considered this lead as well as a contact resistance, here we have also considered the lead and contact resistance. So now Rx is can be written as a Rx plus RMP, and R3 can be written as a R3 is equal to R3 plus RMP if you consider the lead and contact resistance. So this Rx now becomes Rx plus RNP is equal to R1 R3 plus RMP. Okay, we have simply considered the lead and contact resistance. Okay, so R3 can be modified as this, and Rx can be modified like this, because we have considered the lead and contact resistance. So now we get this equation. So we can write like this. Okay, so for example, if you take this R2 to this side, this equation becomes Rx plus RNP is equal to R1 divided by R2 into R3 plus RMP. Now this equation can be written like this also: Rx plus RNP is equal to R1 into R2 into R3 plus R1 divided by R2 into RMP by simple mathematics. This is equation number 2. And if you put equation 1 into equation 2, then what we get, if you put 1, that is RNP is equal to R1 divided by R2 into RMP. If you put this to equation number 2, because we have this RNP. Okay, so initially we have solved this for RNP, that is RNP is equal to R1 divided by R2 into RMP. So this is equation 1, and if you put this value of RNP into this equation number 2, then what we get? You get Rx plus, what is the RNP? It is the R1 divided by R2 into RMP is equal to R1 divided by R2 into R3, and this equation is as it is, R1 divided by R2 into RMP. And then you can realize there are some similar terms are there. So because in left hand side and right hand side you have one similar term, that is this term and this term, so we can delete that term. Okay, so at the end what you remain, that is Rx is equal to R1 divided by R2 into R3, or you can simply write like this, R1 into R3 divided by R2. So Rx is nothing but this term. This is equation number 3. So our equation number 3 gives us the Rx value, and now you can simply understand this term in a such way that is Rx is equal to R1 into R3 divided by R2. And initially during the solving the equation, we have considered the resistance of RNP and resistance of RMP. Okay, initially we have considered this resistance, but at the end equation, this term, that is resistance RNP and resistance RMP, they are not there. So the equation 3 indicates that the effect of connecting lead, that is RNP and RNP, from the point M to point N has been eliminated by the connected galvanometer to the position P. So the equation 3, what it suggests? It suggests the effect of connecting lead from point M to point N has been eliminated by the connecting galvanometer to position P. So this suggested that if you have to solve or if you have to measure the low resistance, then you have to connect this galvanometer to point P, and if you connect this galvanometer to point P, you can eliminate the lead resistance, that is RNP and RMP, because at the end of our equation we have shown that is the unknown resistance Rx is nothing but it is the R1 into R3 divided by R2. So this equation suggested that the effect of connecting lead from the point M to point N has been eliminated by the connecting galvanometer position P, and in this way you can measure the low resistance using the Kelvin's bridge method.